So I want to show you this app. It's called Tuner, and you can see there's a blue music note in this. This is available. It's offered by Michael Moessner. It's a relatively new app, and it features alternate tunings and equal temperaments. So we can see here in the temperaments. We can even do quarter tones. So and if you look closely, I think that the notation is genius because it there's an up arrow if it's a little sharp, if it's a D but a quarter tone sharp. So instead of like looking at accidentals all day, we can see what arrow and quickly know which way we are playing, which note we are playing. If it's E and it's an arrow down, then it's a little bit flatter than an E. And it gives real time, it shows the pitch in real time. Where you can actually see your vibrato and you can see the shape that you're making visually. So you can tell easily if your vibrato is uneven, or it's out of tune, or it's too wide or too fast. You can check it visually with this app. So basically, when you vibrate, you can set the limit for what is considered in tune. And there's a setting here called tolerance. And basically, it's the upper and lower limits of what is an acceptable pitch. So when I play within 4 cents, my vibrato is going within 4 cents up and down from the note. And you can see it's not super even. If I really focus, it's easier to make it even. But you see when I change notes, when I go from first to second finger, there's a little blip there where it's not clear what the note is actually doing, what the pitch is doing. So my vibrato is not helping the pitch establish. It's not changing the pitch in a clear way. So this is the problem when we do vibrato and then we are in this position where the note is flat in the cycle, but then we change notes, we will arrive at the note and it will be flat. And then we have to continue the cycle to finally be in tune. Ideally, when we change notes, when we drop the finger on the string, it's perfectly centered in the pitch. So sharp. That was much better there. Flat. And practice doing this without tension. Like, you're not trying to control the note so much, you're just trying to be aware of what your physical motion is. So we talked about the temperaments. So these are divisions of the octave. Equal temperament 12 is what we normally use. It's all the notes of the chromatic scale. More or less more or less in tune. And then there's the quarter tone scale, which is equal temperament 24. And this is 24 notes in the scale, so it's like it's a quarter chromatic, I guess. I go very slow. So yeah, it's very difficult to develop this level of control of the place of the dropping of the finger, that you can find the notes in between the half steps and have that level of control. Practice so that eventually you can hear it, and your vibrato becomes an even oscillation. Becomes more easy for the ear to listen and hear the pitch. A common mistake I see is that people tend to over vibrate. They use too much vibrato, or it's too wide, or it's too fast, it's too active, and it disturbs the pitch. So it's very hard for other people to play in tune with you if you use too much vibrato. So this will train you to kind of dampen or control the vibrato in a way that is helpful to others. This is crazy. And you notice that the light, that the indicator of whether it's in tune or not, it flashes red and green because it's only for a short moment it's in tune, but the rest of the time it's out of tune. Your vibrato needs to be in tune all the time for the note to sound in tune. Be aware that you can change what is considered in tune. So if a tolerance of 4 cents, that means the vibrato is going to be very narrow. So if you're practicing a bit wider vibrato, maybe set it to 8 cents. See, the margin for error is larger. And keep your vibrato, try to vibrate so it reaches both the upper and lower bounds of in tune. And do it in different speeds. It's very hard to do that. Wide vibrato with control. You can see when I do this, it is mostly red. It's not green. It's telling me that it's out of tune most of the time. And that's because the oscillation of the angle of my finger is uneven, and it's kind of chaotic.